Jace was not looking for anyone. He was just exploring an old signal, deep in a quiet part of the galaxy. His small ship, Star Runner, floated near a dead moon. The signal was weak, like a whisper from a ghost. He landed carefully. The surface was gray, dusty, and cold. Broken pieces of metal lay everywhere. It was an old alien ship, crashed, burned, and forgotten. Jace walked slowly. His boots crunched over the broken ground. Smoke still came from one part of the wreck. Then he saw her, a girl, an alien girl. She was sitting in the wreckage, her body covered in dirt and ash. Her clothes were torn. Her arms were thin, and her silver hair hung like strings over her face. She looked up at him with large purple eyes. They were filled with fear. Jay stopped. He had never seen an alien like her. She looked young, maybe his age. But she was clearly not human. Before he could speak, she moved. She crawled forward on her knees and lowered her head to the ground. "Please," she whispered in a shaky voice, "let me serve. I can clean, cook, anything. Just don't leave me." Jace froze. Was this a trap? He looked around. No one else was there. Who are you?" he asked. The girl slowly lifted her head. "Elira," she said. I belong to you now." Jace shook his head. "No, that's not how this works." But Elira didn't move. She stayed kneeling, eyes lowered. Jace looked again at the wreck. Burnt bones, broken seats. No life signs. She really was alone. He sighed. "All right, come on, I'll take you to my ship." Elira's hands shook. She stood slowly and followed him like a shadow. Inside Star Runner, Jace gave her a blanket and water. She sat in a corner, holding the cup with both hands. "You don't have to serve me," he said. "You're safe now." But she didn't answer. That night, Jace heard crying. Soft, broken sobs from the corner. He turned on the light. Elira curled into a ball, shaking. "Elira?" he said. She jumped, eyes wide with fear. "I'm sorry, I'll be good." Jace frowned. "No one's hurting you. You're safe, okay?" She looked confused, like she didn't believe him. The next day, Jace gave her some food. She waited for him to eat first. "You can eat," he said. Elira nodded but still waited. "Eat," he said again, smiling. Only then did she take a bite. Small, slow, careful. She stared at everything like it was strange. The lights, the screens, the sounds. Later she tried to clean the control room. She didn't know how to use anything, but still tried. Jace found her pressing buttons at random. He laughed. "You'll blow us up like that." "I'm sorry," she cried, dropping to her knees. Hey, Jace said, helping her up. "It's okay. I was just joking." She looked up at him, confused. "No one's going to hit you," he said gently. Her eyes filled with tears. Days passed. Elira started to speak a little more. Her voice was soft and unsure. She still called him master sometimes. "Stop calling me that," Jace said one morning. "But I belong to you now," she said. "No," Jace said. "You belong to yourself." Elira blinked. "I don't understand," Jace sighed. "You will one day." One evening, Jace noticed something strange, a small light blinking under her arm, just under the skin. He scanned it. A tracker. "Elira," he said. "What is this?" Her face went white. "Don't touch it, please. They'll find me." "Who?" "I can't say." "Elira, they'll come if you remove it. They'll come and take me back." She backed away, shaking, terrified. Jace stepped back too. "Okay, I won't touch it. Not until you're ready." Later that night, Jace watched her sleep. Her body was thin, but her face was peaceful now. He didn't know where she came from or what happened to her, but one thing was clear. This girl, this strange, abandoned alien beauty, was broken, hurt, alone, and for some reason, he wanted to protect her, even if it brought danger. even if it cost him everything, because deep down, Jace knew this was not just a rescue. This was the start of something much bigger, something that could change the galaxy forever. Asterisk, the ship was quiet. 2. Quiet. Jace sat in the pilot seat, reading data logs. Outside, stars passed by slowly in the black sky. Inside, the lights were dim. The only sound was the soft hum of the engine. Suddenly, a scream. Jace jumped. It came from the sleeping quarters. He ran down the hallway and opened the door. Alira was thrashing in her bed, trapped in a nightmare. Her hands clawed the air, and her voice cracked in fear. "No. Don't take me back. Please no. I'll be good." Jace touched her shoulder. "Alira, wake up," she gasped and opened her eyes wide. Her body shook. Sweat ran down her face. "It's okay," Jace said softly. "It was just a dream." Alira looked around in panic. Then she saw him and froze. She pulled the blanket up like a shield. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Did I wake my master?" "Stop that." "You don't need to call me that," Jace said, sitting beside her. "Why were you screaming?" Alira turned away. "I can't say. Was it about the tracker?" Her hands gripped the blanket tighter. "I won't remove it," Jace said gently. "Not until you're ready." Alira's voice was a whisper. "If they find me, they'll take me back. They'll kill you, and they'll punish me again." The next morning, Alira acted like nothing happened. She cleaned the small kitchen, even though she didn't know what most things did. She folded clothes she couldn't wear. She sat quietly, watching Jace as he worked. She smiled when he smiled. She flinched when he frowned. Jace watched her carefully. Something was wrong. She was always trying to please him, too much. Like her life depended on it. Later that day, he ran a scan on the ship's systems. He found something strange. A signal was sent from inside the ship. Encrypted. He checked the time. It was during the night, when Alira was sleeping. Or was she? He didn't confront her right away. Instead, he checked the ship's cameras. At 3:12, the exact time of the signal, Alira was awake. She stood near the control panel, whispering in her own alien language. Her hands moved quickly. She touched the console, then stepped back and looked at the stars. She said only one word aloud: "Forgive me." Then she went back to sleep. Later, Jace brought her some food. She smiled and said thank you, as usual. He sat across from her. "Alira," he said calmly, "did you send a signal last night?" She froze. The spoon in her hand trembled. I don't know what you mean," she whispered. "Don't lie," he said, voice firm. "I saw the recording." Her face turned pale. Her shoulders dropped. "Are you working for them?" he asked. "No." She cried quickly. "No, please. I swear, I had to warn someone." "Not them. Someone else." "Who?" Alira looked down. Her voice cracked. "My brother." Jace was silent for a moment. "You never told me you had family." "I didn't remember," she said. "Until the dream. What happened to him?" Alira closed her eyes. "He was taken too. Years ago, before me. I think he escaped. I think he's looking for me." Jace leaned back. "And the signal?" "It was a hidden call," she said. "Only he would hear it. It says, 'I'm alive. I'm safe. Don't come yet.'" "Why not?" She looked into his eyes. "Because they're still watching me." Later that night, Jace studied her arm again. The tracker was buried deep. Alien tech. Smart tech. It didn't just track her. It listened. Everything she said. Every move she made. "Why haven't we removed it?" Jace asked himself. "Because she's scared." But fear could kill them both. He had to make a choice soon. Alira sat in her corner, staring out the window. Her eyes were wide, but not crying. She whispered to herself, "I was made to serve, but why does he keep saying I'm free? I don't understand. What am I if I'm not a servant? She closed her eyes. She didn't want to be free. Freedom was pain. Freedom was danger. But deep inside, a small part of her whispered, what if he's right? What if I can be more? The whisper came from the dark. You are not safe. Alira opened her eyes. The room was cold. Too cold. She sat up, shaking. The lights were off. Jace was asleep in the next room. She heard it again, not outside, but inside her own mind. You cannot hide forever. Her body froze. She knew that voice. It was his voice. The master. Jace woke up to a strange sound. He followed it to the engine room. There, Alira stood in front of the ship's computer, her hand pressed against the glass. She didn't hear him enter. She was whispering something in a strange, alien language. Her voice was low. Her eyes were blank. Alira? He said softly. She gasped and turned around. Her body stiffened like a robot caught mid-command. I was just checking. The lights, she said. Jace looked at the screen. Encrypted code glowed red. Alira, what were you doing? I don't remember, she whispered. That day, Jace checked the outer radar. A ship was following them, small, fast, just far enough to stay out of reach. He changed course. It changed too. He sped up. So did it. He shut down his ship and floated. Dead in space. The other ship vanished. They're tracking us, he muttered. But how? He looked at Alira. Later, Alira tried to serve dinner. She dropped the plate. It shattered on the floor. I'm sorry, she cried, falling to her knees. Jace rushed over. It's okay. It's just a plate. She looked up, eyes wide. You're not angry? No, of course not. She began to cry. You don't hit me. You don't yell. Why? Because I'm not like them, Jace said. She trembled. They would beat us if we spilled food. They would take us to the cold room. The cold room? Alira hugged her knees. They put collars on our necks. Told us we were property. If we disobeyed, they would show us the lesson room. I never want to go back. Jace felt a chill. Who are they, Alira? Who owned you? That night, Jace checked the tracker again. His tools couldn't shut it off. But there was something new, a faint signal, hidden behind layers of code. It was a beacon, sending out their location every few hours. He stared at the screen. Had Alira known? Or worse, was she helping them? The next day, Jace made a decision. He would ask her directly. Alira, he said, I need to know the truth. She looked up from the floor. Are you hiding something from me? Her lips trembled. Yes. He waited. She looked down. I didn't escape. I ran away. During a battle, everyone else died. I was supposed to die too. But you didn't. No, I hid in the fire, pretended to be dead. And the tracker? She nodded. They marked me with it, to find me, to punish me if I ran. Who are they? Jace asked again. She hesitated. Then whispered the name, Lord Kale. Jace had heard the name before. Kale, a warlord known for taking rare alien slaves. He didn't just control planets. He broke people, trained them, sold them. And Alira had belonged to him. Suddenly, the ship shook. The radar beeped. The shadow ship had returned, but now it was close, too close. Jace jumped to the controls. They found us, he said. Alira grabbed his arm. Don't fight, please, he'll kill you. I'm not going to let him take you, Jace growled. He always finds us, Alira whispered. He always wins. Not this time, Jace said. He pressed the thrusters and flew into an asteroid field. The ship followed. Jace weaved between rocks, dodging blasts. The chase was fast and wild. Then, silence. The enemy ship disappeared from radar. Did we lose them? Jace whispered. Alira didn't answer. She sat in the corner, eyes full of fear. But behind the fear was something else. A secret, something she still hadn't told him. Jace watched her quietly. Something had changed. She wasn't just scared of being caught. She was scared of herself. Alira stood in front of the mirror. Her fingers touched the cold metal collar on her neck. It wasn't there anymore, but she could still feel it. Her breathing grew fast. Her chest hurt. She remembered the dark room. The voice, the pain, the words. You are not a person. You are property. Jace was working on the ship's systems when he heard her scream. He ran to the hallway. Alira was on the floor, gripping her throat. Her eyes were wide, like she couldn't breathe. Hey, Alira. It's not real. Jace knelt beside her. She blinked. The panic slowly faded. Her hands shook. I saw him, she whispered. In the mirror, his shadow, watching me. Jace looked around. There's no one here. He's coming, she said. He always finds me. Jace checked the scanners. The enemy ship was gone. For now, they had hidden inside a dense asteroid field. The rocks blocked all signals, even the trackers. But it was only a matter of time. Alira didn't sleep. She sat near the window, watching the stars. Jace brought her food. She didn't touch it. You need to eat, he said. I'm not hungry. He sat beside her. You can talk to me, you know. I'm not your master. I'm your friend. She looked at him, confused. No one's ever called me that, she whispered. Later, Jace found something strange in the ship's library system. An old file, hidden deep in the alien translation logs. It showed Alira's language, but it wasn't just a language. It was a royal code. Ancient, powerful, used only by the noble bloodlines of the extinct Myrians, a species wiped out in the last galactic war. Jace stared at the file. Alira isn't just a servant. He went to her. Alira, your people. They were nobles, weren't they? Her lips tightened. Your name, it's from the Myrian royal house. You're not just a slave. You're... Stop, she said, standing up. Please. I need to know. Alira closed her eyes. Yes, I was born into the Skyblood family, the last daughter. When our world was attacked, the council sold me to Lord Kale. They said it would keep the peace. They gave you away to protect themselves. Jace asked, shocked. No, she said coldly. They gave me away because I was useless, too soft, too weak. My brother fought back. He died. I became a servant. Jace's voice lowered. That's not who you are. It is now, she said, walking away. Suddenly, the ship's alarm rang. Object detected just ran to the cockpit. A small drone was floating outside, scanning them. Then, it exploded. A message appeared on the screen, a voice Jace had never heard before, but Alira knew it well. Alira, you cannot run forever. Your leash is long, but it still pulls. The voice was calm. Cold, Lord Kale. Jac looked at her. He found us? No, she whispered. He never lost me. They left the asteroid field quickly. Jace pushed the ship faster than ever, but Alira sat silent. Broken. I'm sorry, she said. You should have left me. You could have been safe. Safe doesn't matter, Jace said. You matter. After hours of silence, Alira finally spoke again. When I was a child, she said, I dreamed of flying among the stars. Not as a prisoner, but free, like the old stories. Jace smiled. We'll make that dream real, I promise. She looked at him, for the first time. She believed him. Just a little. The bracelet was broken. It had been on Alira's wrist since the day Jace found her. Dull, cracked, and silent. She said it was just a reminder, but Jace never believed that. Not anymore. Now, with his tools, he opened the tiny lock on its side, and what he found inside was a whisper from the past. A soft blue light blinked. Then a voice spoke. To my daughter. If you are hearing this, it means I failed. Alira froze. That voice, she whispered. It's her. The message continued. You are not a servant. You are Myrian royalty. You are my hope. You must survive. They will try to erase you. Do not let them take your name." Illyra dropped to her knees. "My mother is dead," she said. She died when I was taken." Jace crouched beside her. "This message is only 2 years old." Illyra looked up slowly. Her hands trembled. Then everything they told me was a lie. Jace checked the data chip hidden inside the bracelet. There were more files, secret flight logs, maps, and coordinates. One location blinked brighter than the rest. A red star system. KIRELL-9. Forbidden. Locked by war. Treaties. Not even bounty hunters went there. "Your family's grave is supposed to be there," Jace said. "But your mother might still be alive." Illyra didn't speak. She stared at the message again. "You must never believe you are worthless. They will try to break you, but you were born to lead." Tears ran down her face. All this time, she thought she was trash, but she was a legacy. The next day, they flew to Ward Kirel 9. Jace kept checking the scanners. No signs of Lord Kale. Yet. Illyra sat in silence, holding the bracelet like it was her heart. When the planet came into view, Jace frowned. "There's no grave," he said. "Just a large stone building, ancient, cracked but standing." They landed. The wind was strong and dry. The planet was dead, except for the voices. Inside the building, echoes bounced off the walls. Symbols glowed faintly on the stone. "My family crest," Illyra said, touching the wall. It lit up under her hand. A hidden door opened. They stepped. Inside, rows of empty tombs stretched ahead, all marked with royal names. But one tomb was shattered. Not empty. Inside was a journal. Written in her mother's hand. Illyra read the last page aloud. "They did not kill us. They erased us. They needed Illyra to disappear. A servant is no threat, but a queen? That would bring war." Her voice broke. "I was never sold. I was stolen." She fell to her knees. "All this time, I thought I was nothing." Jace knelt beside her. "You're not nothing. You were hidden. For your own safety." "But why?" she asked. "To keep you alive," he said. "And now you get to decide what to do with that life." Suddenly, a sound. Footsteps. Jace drew his weapon. Illyra stood, her fear gone. A figure entered the tomb, tall, worn armor, a long scar on his face. He dropped his helmet. Double quotes. "Hello, sister," he said. Illyra gasped. "Kalen?" Her brother. Alive. Jace was bleeding. His face was bruised, his hands tied behind his back. Blood dripped from his lip onto the cold floor. They had taken him, bounty hunters, hired by Lord Kale. And now, Illyra was alone. Again. From the shadows above, she watched the hunters drag Jace through the old spaceport ruins. They laughed. They kicked him when he slowed down. Illyra's heart burned. This wasn't the fire of fear. It was something new. Anger. She had been told all her life, "You are weak. You are property. You are not meant to fight." But now, Jace was going to die unless she did something. She looked at her hands. They shook. Not from fear. From power. Old power. Forgotten Mirian blood. Hidden for years. She remembered the stories her mother used to tell. Before the darkness came, when a true Mirian is ready, her light will return. She stood. No more hiding. No more crying in corners. She would not beg anymore. She walked toward the bounty camp like a ghost in the dust. Jace was on his knees. The hunters were waiting for Kale's ship to arrive. Then, a sound, a soft hum in the air. Energy. One of the guards turned. Too late. Boom! A wave of blue light slammed into him, sending his body flying across the ruins. The others shouted, raising their weapons, but Illyra was already moving, faster than thought. Her hands glowed with pure energy. Symbols lit up across her skin, royal marks, Mirian runes. She was no servant now. She was a storm. Get her! One of the hunters shouted. They fired. Illyra spun, a shield of energy bursting from her arms. The blast bounced off and hit the ground. She raised one hand and crushed their weapons with a single thought. The leader tried to run. She grabbed him with her mind and threw him into the wall. Silence. Only the sound of wind remained. Jace looked up, barely conscious. Illyra ran to him and untied his hands. Jace, she whispered, please stay awake. He smiled weakly. You're glowing. She laughed through tears. I think I finally understand who I am. Later, in the ship, Jace rested in bed, recovering. Illyra sat beside him, watching over him. Her brother, Kalen, entered the room quietly. You awakened, he said. Illyra nodded. I had no choice. Good, he said. Because the choice will come again. Kale won't stop. She looked down at Jace. I won't stop either, Kalen smiled. Then maybe this time we win. That night, Illyra stood at the window, stars reflecting in her glowing eyes. She spoke to herself. I am not a servant. I am not a gift. I am not weak. I am Illyra Skyblood, last daughter of Myria, and if they come for us again. She turned. I will burn their ships from the sky. The stars were gone. The sky outside the ship turned black, not from night, but from war. Dozens of ships blocked the starlight. Big, sharp, deadly. Lord Kale's fleet had arrived, and they were not hiding anymore. They wanted Illyra. They wanted her back. In the cockpit, alarms screamed. Red lights flashed. Jace sat beside Illyra. He still looked weak, but he was ready. Kalen, her brother, stood at the controls, face cold and calm. Then the screen lit up. A face appeared. Half shadow, half dash metal. Eyes like knives. Lord Kale. He smiled. You've made quite the mess, Illyra. His voice was soft. Too soft. A lost servant pretending to be royalty. A broken girl hiding behind toys and humans. Illyra stared at him. I am not your servant. Kale chuckled. You were mine. You will always be mine. No, she said. Not anymore. Kale's eyes narrowed. Then I will take back what is mine and burn everything around you to ash. The screen went black. Illyra turned to Kalen. Are the weapons ready? Some, not enough. We need help. Jace looked at her. Illyra, there is something you need to see. He handed her a message, a reply to the secret signal she had sent days ago. A voice played. To Illyra Skyblood, if you still live, we stand with you. Myrians do not kneel. Say the word, and we rise. Her hands shook. Hope. Real. Hope. She turned to the ship's console and opened a wideband signal. She spoke with a voice full of fire. This is Illyra Skyblood, last daughter of Myria. I call to all Myrians, to all the forgotten. Stand with me. Fight for your names. Fight for your lives. This is our sky. This is our time. The reply came fast. One ship. Then 5. Then 20. Old Myrian ships. Dusty, broken, reborn. They flew toward Kale's fleet like fire from a storm. The final battle began. Explosions filled space. Light and sound danced in the black sky. Jace took the weapons seat. Kalen led the Myrian fleet. Lyra stepped into the main deck. And opened the bay doors. She was going outside. Are you sure? Jace asked. She nodded. I'm not just going to fight. I'm going to end this. She floated out into space, her body glowing with blue energy. Kale's ship saw her and aimed. Missiles fired. She raised one hand. The missiles turned and hit the enemy ships instead. Kale's voice came through again. You are powerful, but still just a girl. Illyra closed her eyes. No, I am a queen. She reached Kale's flagship, broke through the shield, landed on the deck like a falling star. Soldiers ran toward her. She raised both hands. The floor cracked under them. Power flowed from her like a wave. She walked through Fire. Until she saw him. Kale. Waiting. You've come home, he said. No, she said. I've come to finish what you started. They fought, light against shadow. Her power against his machines. The room shook. Walls melted. Finally, Kale stood weak, broken. You can't kill me. He laughed. You are too soft. Illyra stepped forward. I don't need to kill you, she said. I only need to make sure you never rise again. She bound him in light, sealed him in a prison of energy, forever. Back on the ship, cheers rose. Mirian Fleet had won. Lyra eager to Jace, he smiled. Even through his pain. You did it, he whispered. No, she said. We did it. Later, as stars returned to the sky, Illyra stood on the ship's balcony. She was no longer lost. No longer a servant. Jace stood beside her. She looked at him and said, I don't want to serve you anymore. He smiled. Good. What do you want? She took his hand. I want to stay. Not as your servant, not as your queen, but as your friend.